One.
What's happening, guys? Johnny Pickleball here with Kyle Yates, and we found each other, so we thought we'd do a little special U.S. Open first impressions. We're midway through the U.S. Open so far, so we wanted to give you a little around the post show. Kyle, what do you got, man?
Well, people are going to want to hear this. I know I've had a lot to say about the U.S. Open, so people are definitely going to be tuning in for this. So like and share this, spread this to your friends, because it's something you guys need to hear.
Exactly. Now, we're going to kind of keep our format as much as we possibly can. So we're going to think about, okay, if you're at the U.S. Open right now, or you're thinking about coming to a U.S. Open in the future, let's get a tip of the week for if you're at the U.S. Open.
Well, my first tip of the week, and my opponents the other day figured this out real fast. If you want a decent parking spot, come early, and by early I mean 7:30 a.m. because I had a match at around 9 o'clock, and my opponents were almost defaulted because the parking was completely full, and they had to park across the street at Sugden Park and get shuttled over. And those shuttles, it's kind of fun, but there's so many people taking the shuttles, they start packing you in like sardines, and it's standing room only, and it starts to look like one of those subway trains in Tokyo where they're just kind of just shoveling people and pushing them in before the door could shut. So you want a decent parking spot, you don't want to have to take the shuttle and deal with all the hassle, you gotta come nice and early.
Daniel Moore, you know what we're talking about. That's right. So you gotta guys remember, that's our tip of the week, so make sure you get here early. Careful behind a Prius. If I get stuck behind one more Prius, it's gonna be tough. All right, so hopefully no one defaults in the pro world at 8 a.m. on Friday, or for men's or women's. All right, so next up, we're going to go ahead and do Kyle's rants of the week. It'll be very unscripted, very live, as that's what we're doing right now. He didn't even know we are going to do a tip of the week, right? Or what was it?
A rant?
A rant of the week. Let's go ahead. Let's see what you got. You got a little rant?
You know what? Actually, a little something. So, you know, I was playing, and I'm finding out that I'm kind of blown away. I'll be honest. I'm kind of blown away. I was expecting a lot of negative things from this year. I was expecting a lot of negative things, especially from last year. But I'm starting to just figure that I could just blame a lot of it on COVID. Last year, I paid a lot of money for this VIP, and the food was awful. It was inedible. Couldn't eat it. It was like they were packaging these little boxed airplane meals and giving them out. And we paid good money for this stuff, and it was terrible. This year, the VIP food, actually pretty good. Okay, I had ribs and grilled Brussels sprouts the other night for dinner. So the food, for the VIP at least, for those of you who want to spend the extra money, at least you're getting what you're paying for. For the rest of you, if you decide not to pay the extra money, breakfast you get some fried donuts, and for lunch you get Sloppy Joes.
When was the last time you saw Sloppy Joe?
Elementary school, maybe. But yeah, so on one hand, I'm very impressed that they're taking care of the people that they need to be taken care of, but I feel bad for the spectators. I mean, you're sitting out here, these people come and watch, and I just want to see some more quality food options. There's plenty of food trucks. There's an ice cream truck, which is nice. There's the fried donut place, and just a little bit better, easy food for some of these people. Make them a little bit healthier, please.
But that is true. If we had to check in on Ryan Sherry, pretty much you just have to walk over to where the fried donuts are. So that's where he's at, whether it's before singles, after singles, the next day when he's not even playing.
I would kill for a nice breakfast burrito in the morning. I mean, you show up super early. An acai bowl truck that they had at Delray would be nice.
That is true.
You know, just something nice and healthy, at least for breakfast, to get people going and start on the right foot.
That's right. I'll take a banana. I'm pretty simple. So, all right, cool. So the next thing I got to do, which I'm a big fan of, is this new game that we have, Keep the Dream Alive or Give It Up. So I'm going to be doing it. We'll kind of answer together, but I'll throw the topics out there since it's just Kyle and I today. Eddie's not with us today. Whatever. So, all right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Wyatt Stone doing his own social media.
I don't know if I follow Wyatt Stone on social media.
If you do,
I'm gonna go follow him. See, check it out.
That's how you do it.
You guys go follow Wyatt Stone on social media.
That's right. So Wyatt Stone doing his own social media. Do we keep the dream alive? Because the joke is that his mother actually does the social media for him.
Oh. I wish my mom would do my social media for me.
I thought she did already.
No, she's too busy with refereeing stuff.
That is true.
But hey, you gotta have a personality. I would keep the dream alive. Do it yourself. I don't like when people are doing your own social media for you. It should be personal. I like to keep mine very personal, and I like to see him do it. You know, be yourself.
Be yourself, man. All right, cool. So the next one we have, I say keep the dream alive as well. All right, so next one, brand ambassadors thinking they're sponsored players.
I mean, they're sponsored, right? they're getting probably some discounts and stuff on product, and
It's
right?
tough. It's tough. I mean, listen, brand ambassadors. I mean, if you think of like USA Pickleball, I mean, you get like what? Coupon to Chili's, or what do you get? Like a visor?
I don't know. I just know I'll get a lot of companies reaching out and they'll give me a discount code or something for things. And,
JP10.
just because I get maybe 15% off
Yeah.
of something doesn't mean I'm sponsored by them per se, or that I need to be really out promoting them. So
There's a lot of companies out there that'll give you promo codes and tell you you're sponsored, but really you're a brand ambassador for them. So,
so there's a difference. Brand ambassador, you're
There is.
promoting them. Sponsored, well, they gotta be like paying you something.
that's true. It's like money.
Sure.
It's just,
I mean,
it's
I
money.
get some free shoes from somebody, but I'm not a sponsored player.
Correct. So what do we say? Keep the dream alive or give it up from brand ambassadors thinking they're sponsored players?
Give it up. It's separate. It's different. It's okay. It's okay. It's nice that you're promoting these companies, but that doesn't mean you're sponsored. It's okay.
I'll disagree with it just because I don't want to say the same thing he says all the time. So keep the dream alive. Be in your own world. Think your own thoughts. Do your thing, man. You do you.
As long as you like the product, you're happy with it.
That's right.
There you go.
All right, cool. Here we go. Ryan Sherry singles career. Keep the dream. He's getting up there in age. NML and all these other people have really touted how much of a comeback he's starting to do now. Have this and that. But keep the dream alive or give it up. The Ryan Sherry singles career. He's probably one of the most entertaining people to watch in singles. Yeah.
I still say he's a top 10 player if he's not coming off a weekend bender, right? I mean,
71 hours. He'll never get to 72.
I say as long as he goes a couple days without going out with his friends some night, he's a top 10 player. I'm keeping the dream alive. Ryan, keep doing your thing, brother. We haven't trained for the last 3 or 4 years for nothing. I know you got a big win coming your way here pretty soon.
Perfect. Yeah, keep the dream alive. Definitely. Enough said.
I love Ryan.
Exactly. All right, man. Last one. And the IFP. The International Federation of Pickleball.
Just the IFP?
Just the IFP. Nothing with it. It's just the IFP. Do we keep the dream alive or do we give it up?
It's a bummer because there needs to be some sort of organization that brings all these countries together under one kind of umbrella for pickleball. And recently, the news, there was a lot of countries that kind of broke away from the IFP recently.
Correct.
So I gotta go give it up. I gotta go give it up, and we gotta find someone who's gonna make a little more of a cohesive unit and bring the countries together a little better.
Yeah, for sure. I think give it up. I think the fallout is the fallout, and it is what it is. You had a good run.
It'll happen. Let's get to the Olympics someday, but we need a strong governing body that's gonna take charge and make everybody happy.
Last one, bonus one.
Oh.
Ready? This is my bonus one, and I can put the phone down for that one. So bonus one is, when will they create the theme song? When will they use the theme song from Jurassic Park for the theme song of the U.S. Open? Do we keep the dream alive or do we give it up? The theme song from Jurassic Park being used as the theme song for the U.S. Open.
I think the theme song for the U.S. Open is some sort of Jimmy Buffett anthem, right?
The Margaritaville, I think.
Cheeseburger
right?
in Paradise, I think, is probably the U.S. Open theme song right now.
If you do the B-roll of it and you see the U.S. Open in all its entirety of everybody walking around there, it's East Naples Park.
Get a little drone footage of that center court with the big dome on it.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, ba. Can you imagine?
Oh, I love that. We should make that video.
Oh,
see
no,
what
it's going to happen. Somebody's going to do it now, and hopefully we inspired you to do it and give me a little bit of life for that. So always tag us if you're going to do that, by the way. Kyle Yates, Johnny_Pickleball, Johnny No H, by the way. All right, cool. So that is our Keep the Dream Alive and Give It Up. We are not going to go into any commercials because we don't want to, and we're going to actually go, and we're going to go straight into the U.S. Open, the main topic, and where we're at. So let's first, we started off, we heard Kyle talk about parking. So parking is absolutely brutal with people coming in and out and as slow as they're going and trying to figure out if they have like their $5 to get in or if they're giving people penny rolls or to try to pay the people, and it's taking forever. People are starting to get late for matches, and the warm-ups are you're getting like what, 3 minutes or so?
Yeah, the poor guys. I played first round the other day. Actually, one of them was a good friend of mine, so I felt bad a little bit. They did not get to hit one ball. Now, they probably should have been defaulted, but not one ball. And their complaint was, we got here a half hour ago, but then they had rerouted us across the street, decided had to wait for the shuttle, get on, come all the way over. And sometimes you can't even get on the first shuttle. There's such a line to get onto the shuttle. So you kind of feel sorry, but it's one of those things, you just got to know these things ahead of time. But if this is like your first tournament, or first U.S. Open at least,
you're bummed.
How are you supposed to know that or predict it? So it takes a couple of days. But your first day here, you got to be ready.
It's bittersweet because if you're the U.S. Open, you're thankful that you're getting so much business. And if you're the, you know, really the players, right, or the fans or spectators, it's just tough on you, man. So you got to think that there's got to be other sources. Maybe they plan a little bit better if they're going to have this many people and stuff. That no, I mean to
reduce your carbon emissions. Carpool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ride share. You know, there you go. Rent an e-bike. You know, something else. But,
so I would think about that, but you know they're all about that profit, so it's all good. That $5, $30 passes. Now that brings me to the question: should professional players have parking? I'm just saying, and I understand what they're doing with all the amateurs, and you know that makes up the majority of the tournament, right? The amateur players, I get that. That's the 99%, completely cool. Should the professional players, because of the amount that they pay to play, get parking and have a parking area for them closer?
I believe they should, and apparently this year they do.
Really?
Did you know that? They do. In the back lot, there's actually a designated pro player area for parking this year, which is, I've never seen that before at this tournament. I've seen it at some other tournaments in the PPA and stuff they do. They actually have a pro VIP area in the back for parking. So if you're a professional player and you have your pro pass and somehow you found out this information, because they didn't really tell me this ahead of time, but I don't read the emails.
Didn't really get the email. Actually, I didn't read the email either.
Either way, it's a long email. It's a lot to read. I get bored reading Harry Potter books.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, so there is a pro player parking area, so the pro players at least don't have to park over at Sugden and get shuttled over and risk getting forfeit for a match that they did pay a lot of money to play, and they're playing for money. So I thought that was really neat, and that's not the only thing they've done for pro players this year.
Okay, what else?
So they also added not just one, but 2 pro player kind of VIP lounge areas.
That is true. That's super cool.
So they added one with air conditioning up at the front at kind of the building when you first walk in, like the greeting building, kind of by the vendor tents, which is awesome. Which is awesome because air conditioning is not easy to find here at East Naples Park in South Florida. It's brutal, and that's been one of my complaints the last couple of years is there's nowhere to get away from the heat, especially as a pro player, and I had some issues with that in the past. So absolutely love that they added that, the Skechers Pro Lounge this year. And way in the back, it's a big facility.
It is.
Way in the back, on the other side of the facility, back on those courts 50 and 60, you know, 40 and through 60, they added a big old tent for pro players also for the players who are way back there. So those pro players who aren't necessarily getting on center court much, they're stuck way in the back, another pro player tent so they can get away from the crowd, relax, which I absolutely love and appreciate so much that they added that this year.
Which actually it looks really good. Here's my next question then. So we do have the pros all the way in the back, so that's where we play. So if you guys ever need to find us, we're way back in the back, kind of hidden almost. It's a different world almost when you go back there. So it's very separate because they have the wellness building, right? Which the Welcome Wellness Center, which is fantastic.
We'll talk about that.
But that's fantastic. But everything is very separated at East Naples now with their area, so you can almost feel like you're in all these different worlds and compartments around the area. With the stadium court and with what I like to call Main Street, kind of where everyone kind of walks through, do you think, and I'll answer this, I do think this is why I'm asking you if you think this, that those courts that are right outside of that center court, you know, that area, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, right, that have never been resurfaced. You'll know it's the ones you slip on and are bald. Should be resurfaced, and then those are the pro courts. You use those as putting, I mean, you're having 24 professional players right there that you get to watch down Main Street. That would create such a buzz. You have a tent that circles all the way around it. So now it's always covered around there so you can invite spectators in and around it, right? And it's right next to all the live music and all the things that are going on. And I think that would be a big, big, big improvement going forward.
Isn't it amazing having some insight from an actual pro player on how to design a facility?
Just saying.
I think that'd be brilliant. But yes, I'm glad I'm not playing on those front courts because they're actually dangerous to play on because they're so slippery. And I've actually get to play in Naples occasionally for the King of the Court and stuff down here, and brutal. So at least those courts way in the back are a lot newer, a little bit nicer to play on. But absolutely, you got the pros. you had the pros way in the back
in
or
the
on
back.
center court. So I actually had a match center court, then on court 43, then on center court, and then on 44. So I'm hiking back and forth, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, no, I think that they should. And
cool.
it is kind of a bummer too that the facility is so big and they are compartmentalized, I guess.
Yeah.
Where you have, I had my brother-in-law playing on court 6, which is way over in the front right, and then I'm playing maybe on center court or way in the back, and it's very hard to get around and see my friends play and whatnot. But that's going to happen with a big facility. I understand how they do it. It just comes with the territory. But having the pros right up front would probably be.
I think it would be
idea.
a cool little feature anyway that people can all, because they're all heading down that way anyway. It's where all the food trucks are. It's where all the extra tents are, where everybody is. And actually, I remember years ago, I mean, when those courts were still slick, but that I played a bronze medal match on that. I think it was when we were allowed to play an age. So I played one of my bronze medals matches. That was there. That was super cool. And so just to be in front and where everybody was walking through. So I don't know. And then I think the tent around it would be nice. So I really hope people, if they want some feedback on that, is to create like a U or a circle, almost like a bowl around that area.
That would be cool. They did add some more shade
Yes.
structures, like some more tents and whatnot, and we'll get to that wellness center, the pro shop thing.
That's coming up next,
yeah, that's a pretty cool spot. So
yeah, so the wellness center is something that's new. They just built it. It just got done for the most part. I think it got
very recently.
It's done enough to be able to utilize it.
Right. The pro shop isn't complete yet, but bathrooms and everything in the bar areas is done.
The bathrooms being there is, and they're air conditioned. It's nice. That's
again,
cool.
That was one of our biggest complaints was the bathrooms. The bathroom facilities have always been atrocious here. They've done so much to rebuild this park, and the bathrooms are kind of one of the last things that they finally added. So instead of bringing in some trailer bathrooms, the wellness center is kind of nice. It's cool.
It
They got
is.
a big bar area out back with shade right next
nice.
alongside of the court, so you can watch from.
It is really cool. I still go to the old ones just for nostalgia purposes, but from time to time to relive the glory
Just to
days.
draw on some of the
keeps-
on the stalls.
Just to say, court 42, here I come, right around there. So it's fantastic. But okay, so we have our wellness center. That's a nice thing. They have that big screen that you can watch center court from back there as well, where they can play all their Margaritaville commercials and Skechers commercials and everything else. The vendors are doing their thing this year. There's a lot of foot traffic. Already. I mean, already. Usually it kind of it builds and builds and builds throughout the week, but there's already a ton of people coming through.
Yeah,
It's
Skechers
pretty
sold out of
ridiculous.
shoes like the first day. And
Right.
it's hustling and bustling right now.
Yeah, Skechers is doing a big thing. I mean, I did a meet and greet at Gamma. I couldn't believe how much was happening today of just people coming through, just watching. It's
I
nuts.
love seeing that big picture of you with the Gamma, big poster behind the booth there.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to the dark lighting yet of the Paddletech of view back there, so we got to get to that. We got to get that big silhouette going there, but which is good. But okay, so there's our vendors. We have, I think, do we have any new vendors? We used to have that pickle one. I don't remember. It was like a pickle shot. You remember that one?
Oh,
We didn't get them this year.
pickle. No, no. But
it was
Skechers has really made an impact.
They have.
Huge booth. They really jumped in. Kind of new to pickleball. They just they're sponsoring now. Sponsoring not just brand ambassadors, but they're sponsoring Catherine Printo and Tyson McGuffin, two great players to be working with. So they're making a name for themselves. We definitely need some high quality pickleball shoes in this industry.
Yes, absolutely. And so you start to look at, so we have our main street through there. We have the tents that are going there. I think the vendors are all getting a lot of love. I think they got their money's worth this year, right?
So far
good.
we're not even to the weekend yet with the championship Saturday or anything.
Yeah, and I mean today and tomorrow are men's. Today was men's amateur. Tomorrow's women's amateur or mixed. I think women's
And the
tomorrow.
senior pros.
And the senior pros tomorrow. And then we'll get to men's pro, women's pro on Friday. Mixed on Saturday with a bunch of other events that are taking place, of course, to where people can color coordinate and do their thing out there. So because that's the thing. So I always love the sound. I think Eddie used to say it too bad he's not here, but I mean he used to say it. He loved the sound of hearing pickleballs in the morning. He loves that stuff.
All the sound of hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams right before you go 2 and out.
High expectations.
Right before you go 2 and out.
Before
It's
you
a
dump that
beautiful thing.
first point third shot right in the net.
You're ready. Right before your first eye roll to your partner. Yeah. So okay. So we have that. Okay. Let's talk about Stadium Court. So Stadium Court now is starting to create a vibe of old, and what I mean by that is that there used to be a big vibe. Well, it's back and forth with me a little bit. So the area and the atmosphere around it, it looks good. It looks like it used to. It looks like it has that big, big kind of like Grand Slam feel to it. The people, you're allowed to cheer. You're allowed to say anything at this point. It's not tennis. It's not other sports. We want you to make some noise. Yeah. Please.
I'll blame the players and some of that.
Yes.
But then choosing the right matches to go on center court that are very lively. There were some phenomenal matches so far this week.
Yeah.
What was the match I watched yesterday? It was like Georgia Johnson and Mircha won a match, 3-setter out there, and the crowd kind of got electric there for a little bit. Music, they could use music a little bit better to hype the crowd up a little bit more.
I mean,
the volunteers have been doing an amazing job getting around, delivering drinks to people. Which has been great. Delivering me courtside, I got my gold box right there, so that's been kind of fun to chill in that. But the center court, I remember the first couple of years, it was just, like I said, electric. It was just bumping. The music was blasting. Everyone was drinking, having a good time. And then last year, it was just kind of, it was all right. We're there to watch pickleball, no big deal. They're bringing that party back, which was that big draw of the U.S. Open to begin with. Right. It's a big party. It's not necessarily just a pickleball tournament. It's a big party with pickleball there. So they're bringing that back, trying to make the U.S. Open great again. I appreciate it. Let's just keep it up. I can't wait for Friday and Saturday. Championship Saturday might be really fun.
It's going to be really fun.
Those of you who have tickets, you're lucky.
Make sure you go. And so the music on center court. Let's get away from Conway Twitty and bump it up a little bit. Let's liven it up a little bit. I think you'll be okay.
There's always some crowd favorites, the Sweet Caroline and some of those, but you save those for the big matches. But all the matches in between, just something a little more energy,
Sweet
get people going,
God. Oh, God. Okay.
Ba, ba, ba.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they get, I don't know, take a note from like the PPA or APP when they have music. It's to just get something out there.
They've got a vibe. They've got, like I said, they got that beachy vibe, the cheeseburger in paradise kind of thing.
Right.
I get that. But we need to make sure it keeps rolling throughout the day. All those lulls between matches, keep people interested, keep them entertained.
Yeah, give me an MC out there yelling at people, shooting T-shirts or something.
Yeah, where's Dan Schuyler with his T-shirt cannon?
Get somebody out there, do something. I don't care. You can give me somebody doing like some rocket dances or something. Do something out there.
Oh, they got the guy walking around there playing the guitar with the pair on his shoulder or the mat.
It's tough.
I forgot his name, but he's always out there.
He's got a parrot. It's a fake parrot. Store spoiler.
Where's Kitchen? Where's Kitchen, the pickleball mascot? It's too hot out here probably
for him. It's too hot. The dude is, he'd pass out on day one.
If you guys don't know Kitchen the pickleball mascot, go to Instagram, look up Kitchen, the pickleball mascot. Guy made it. It's so cool, so funny. Great guy, so I love to support him too.
All right, so that's our stadium court area. We have the Good Old Boys Club of the commentary booth still intact. Hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed in
We have Chad Edwards probably gets to even get in there at this point, probably because he's always done it. You got Mark Renison. And then we have Melissa McCurley will get in there fine. And then we have, who's the rest? You got
Pickleball Channel with Rusty.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure we'll get Dave Benz back in there for the finals. So, it's the same people.
Or Drew Felios, or no?
No,
it's not Drew, right? We don't get that lucky. We get Dave Benz, right?
PPA, right?
Okay, I was just checking. So
let's get another pro in there with some personality to do some commentary.
I know we had talked about it. We tried to get in even on Wednesday today for the senior pro matches. How great would it be to have? I didn't think of this. So by the way, it was myself, Joey Farias, Adam Stone, Irina Teroshenko to commentate for a Mills Miller match.
Oh, man.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
it was in the works.
For those of you viewers, I'm sure a lot of you are actually watching this week, watching the stream, watching the Big Old Channel stream. Let us know how you feel about the commentary.
Yes,
let us know in the comments. What do you think? If you disagree with us, that's fine. But let us know what you think. Do you think they need to be talking more about the strategy? Do they need to be talking less? Do they need more energy? You let us know what you guys want.
Do they just need to be better? Do they just need to be there? That's also fine. It's like all acceptable answers. So there's no right or wrong answer. So, but I am curious what people think about that. I'm curious what they think about the whole thing in general by the time it's all said and done, because it's almost like the U.S. Open is two parts. The leading up to the championship, that part that's leading up to in the championship itself is the main event. But what they've done here at the U.S. Open this year, which is really good, it doesn't even really feel like a tournament. It does feel more like an event. And I think that's the way they need to go because of the Pro Tour that is happening with two Pro Tours, really. where they already have that established of that pro tour feel and what that is. So this big party event, if that's their goal, they're nailing it right now. So that's cool.
It shouldn't. This tournament, it shouldn't really matter exactly who is on center court, as long as they're doing a good enough job promoting and making it exciting and getting the energy in there. You're going to enjoy the matches regardless. Because I'm watching some of the matches, they're not even the top pro players, but they're still really tight, competitive matches with crazy points.
Yeah.
So you don't always need just the top players to have a good time and enjoy a good show.
At the end of the day, people just want to see good pickleball. I mean, the names help, I guess, for people to recognize, but they just want to see good pickleball. That's it. Get good parking, get something healthy in you, have good pickleball.
Sure.
And some music.
Yeah, I do one last.
Go for it.
One last comment that I want to point out is this year, very, very happy with what they're doing to help pay the referees.
Yeah, that is cool.
They got hundreds of volunteers that work tirelessly all day long, but the referees this year, the U.S. Open, they're actually paying the referees up to USA Pickleball standards, which is so nice. I know, like I said, my mom referees all the time, and I feel like it's a thankless job. I know a lot of players are hard on the referees. I'm guilty of that all the time. At least now they're out here in the hot sun all day long refereeing. At least they're getting paid better, at least making it a little more worth their time, because they're important. I know the reason the US Open Pickleball Championships wasn't sanctioned originally was because they couldn't get enough referees. Well, guess what? If you're not paying them, or you're not paying them enough, you're not going to get very many. Once you start taking care of the referees, who are working very hard out here, and they're very important to the entire event. Without referees, I mean, how do you run these pro matches? So I'm very happy with how they're taking care of them. I'm very happy with how the US Open is taking care of the pro players. I wish they would take care of the spectators a little more with the food aspect, but they got more shade for them. They make it a little more interesting with the energy and the music.
One more thing about Stadium Court, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, people are running around trying to scalp tickets like it's nobody's business. Okay, so, I mean, should there be, I mean, what do we got? I understand it's a business, like, completely get it. It's
well, I got 2 tickets right here for Stadium Court today that they go for $15, but they could be yours. If you find me here at the US Open, they can be yours.
How much you want,
$50 a piece. Get in there in center court.
Nothing like making a profit. That's right. So that's pretty much what's happening.
There you go. I'm about to go stand right outside waving these around and see if I can make some money off them.
This is what's happening, though. This is what it's come to. You got guys out in the streets, man. They're doing stuff out in this Main Street area, right? They get dropped off by the golf cart because they're too lazy to walk 50 feet. And then after they finally get a good parking spot, and then they're scalping tickets.
I got to cover my entry fees somehow.
I know. That's good.
I didn't get any money for taking 4th place the other day. The winner's got a cruise somewhere. But, 4th place, thank you. Thanks for coming. Have a nice day.
Yeah. And at $50, I mean, that's a pretty good deal. I saw some guy like, $200 a pop out there ready to go. Somebody was like, yeah, it sounds pretty fair. So, think about that, though. I think they need to let people in during the week anyway. Fill the stadium. Fill the stadium. Please fill the stadium. Make it more fun. I mean, people are actually afraid to go near Stadium Court right now, apparently, because, the bouncers there are tough, So, they'll get you, No, sir. They don't mess around. So, it's all good, guys. That's the US Open. If we had to do a summary of the first part of this week, though, great event. They're making it into an event versus trying to make it into a very serious professional tournament, I would say. It's really catering to the amateurs a lot more, which I think is good. They've added a lot of new features, which is good, but really just making it into a great event.
Yeah, what grade do you think you would give them so far, first few days?
B.
Straight B?
Straight B, yeah. I think it's straight B. I think that's solid. I think they're above average right now.
I'm gonna go A-.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go A-, which is significantly better than last year's barely passing grade.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm so critical of this tournament, guys. I am very critical of this tournament for a couple reasons. The main is I'm so much rooting for them because this is where my career really took off. I actually played my high school tennis regional tournament at this very facility, and so I've seen this sport grow here in this community from scratch all the way up to becoming the pickleball capital of the world, the best event of the year. And last year I was just disappointed. I'm terrified that pickleball is going to keep growing around the rest of the country, and the U.S. Open is going to move somewhere else.
Correct.
So all the time, we're criticizing this tournament. It's not because I'm rooting against them. It's the opposite. I'm cheering them on. I want this tournament to do well. I want to be proud of this tournament, and that's why we're so critical. And so far in the first few days, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing. I see a lot of improvements from last year. Always room for improvement. Keep going. But it's in the right direction. I'm very excited for Friday and Saturday. I think that the energy is going to be great. I'm stoked to play. Playing the other day was so much fun. Got to relive playing with Dave Weinbach again. We went for our three-peat. Didn't get it. But it was awesome to be back on the court with him again. But again, winning with him the first couple of years was the highlight of my career. And just to see this tournament start going downhill was very upsetting. But they're turning around.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep being critical because we just want to see them keep getting better and better and better.
We want them to keep pace with everything else that's going on in the country, which is what he said. And then also, it's okay to take input from people that are, younger. It's all good. Like, we're not gonna, that's cool, man. Like, take our input, take junior players' input, take people's input that aren't 50 plus or, are from around Naples even. Because sometimes when you're around this area, and I know I lived here, I worked here, man, I know exactly how this goes. You get stuck into this bubble of you think that it's the pickleball capital of the world. There's nothing else going on bigger or better, but there is. And there's a lot going on around the country. So, start opening up that mind a little more and take input because it's only trying to help. It's not there to criticize or knock you down. It's only trying to help you get bigger, better so that it can stay here. And that's what we're doing. That's what we want other people to do, to voice their opinions. They say they listen to it, but I really encourage you to listen to players that are on either the pro tour, junior players, young players that are the ones that are going to be keeping this game going for the future, for this place to be relevant and to be successful. So the Around the Post show and all that we do is so much fun. And, we'll probably do a recap of the U.S. Open. I almost guarantee it. We will do a recap of the U.S. Open, including our Keep the Dream Alive, Give It Up. We'll check in on Ryan Sherry again at some point to see if he's alive. And then we will end up doing our doppelganger segment again to see which pro looks like a cartoon character of some kind.
We've got many, many more.
There's so many things. And then enjoy the U.S. Open. Enjoy watching. The stream, I think, is going well. So as far as I know, again, please let us know your thoughts on the commentators, on what you think about them. Positive, negative, I don't care. Keep it in there. Keep their dream alive or give them up. I don't know. I don't care. Okay, so thank you again. Johnny Pickleball, Kyle Yates. See ya.